Hey, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Call Halayim Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Barakatam Akim. Alright, it's coming back with another video. This is Yabatazah. I just want to go into just proving how Peter knew of the Israelite foreigners, or the Israelite foreigners that were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and that time was Asia Minor, okay, which is he's going to mention here. And basically, you know what I'm saying, it's going to prove that, show that through the scriptures with the Israelites. The Gentiles that were spoken of in the scriptures with Paul, the Cornelius, they were Israelites. Okay, and Peter spoke to Cornelius, right? That was part of the Italian band. And you know, like I said, it's just gonna be real quick. The brothers already know what's up, but to those that don't know fully, you know, Peter is gonna show here in verse 1, 1 Peter's 1:1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua Mashiach, grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Okay, so now Peter is acknowledging that there's what they call strangers. When you read the strangers in the Bible, a lot of times it's referring to the Israelites. Okay, Hebrew Israelites that had fell away from their customs, their traditions, or were not accepted by their fellow brethren. Okay, I've got another script. Let me see. Bear with me to bring it up. Okay, Slakia. Let me go over here real quick. Give me 1 second. This is Salakia, Ephesians 2:19. Now therefore you are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and unto the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in Yahushua, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. Okay, now I'm gonna go back up here to verse 12. It says that at that time you were without Yahushua Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, without God in the world. But now in Yahushua Mashiach, ye who sometimes were afar off are made nigh by the blood of Yahushua Mashiach. See, so that's who those strangers are, man. You just lost your sense of understanding of who you are as a people. That's why it says in the book of Jeremiah, the 19. Jeremiah, let's see, Jeremiah 19. Let's see. Yeah, it's lucky. Let me find it real quick. Jeremiah, I think it's 17 or 16. 17. 17:4. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land, whither thou knowest not. For you have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever, which meant that Yahushua was going to scatter you amongst all the nations by using the nations to scatter you abroad. Okay? So let's go back to 1 Peter's chapter 1. It says, again, I'm going to read it again. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh the Father. Okay, so there's elect that were scattered throughout all that region in that time. Okay, which were known as Gentiles, the Israelite foreigners that had basically either they didn't know they were, or they believed that they were following the traditions, the customs of the law, the law, statutes, commandments. Okay, but they were just rejected by the ones that did know that they were Israelites, and they were following all the things, and they lived in Jerusalem. But that's why Yahushua came to bring those back together. Okay, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's who he was seeking for, those that had faith. So from there, I want to go to the book of Acts, chapter 2, and start at verse 5. And this is during the time of the Pentecost, and when the Peter and the apostles, the Holy Spirit had fell upon them. Okay, and they were speaking in tongues. It says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how we hear every man in our own tongue wherein we were born? Parthians, Medes, Elamites, and dwellers of Mesopotamia, and in Judea and Cappadocia, and Pontus and Asia. You see, so you had these men that were coming to Jerusalem for particular high holy days to observe, that were Israelites, that were Jews. Okay, but they lived in different lands, different regions of the earth. In that time, it says Phrygia and Pamphylia in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome. So you had Israelites that were Romans, like the Roman centurion. Well, he was a centurion, that was that Yahushua healed his servant that fell ill. Okay, and then you had Cornelius. Even Paul himself, he was a Roman citizen. Okay, it said Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our own tongues and the wonderful works of the Most High. You see, so you have these Israelites and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And Peter knew this. Okay, even though the ministry of that went to Paul,